Let it be written in the historical record that Israel butchered Gaza over and over as the civilized West supplied the weapons and shielded Israel in the press. The bullies pretended to be victims, the settlers pretended to be civilians, the oppressors pretended to be the oppressed. In barely 2 weeks, almost 5,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israel, half of them women and children. Who even knows what the other half are? Show me one dead Hamas fighter, one. Israel has destroyed 140,000 homes in Gaza. Are you going to come here and tell me that Hamas owns 140,000 homes in Gaza, 1/3 of all the houses? What about the 19 journalists? What about the 29 UN workers? What about the 37 medics killed by Israel? All of them. Even hospitals, historical churches are not safe. How can he who claimed to be sane of mind gaze upon this madness, this folly, and find it proportionate and humane? I cannot even count the number of videos and photos I've seen of dead people in Gaza. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's like a never-ending gore movie. You know, either the Israelis are so incompetent that they are unable to use these weapons properly, or they are killing civilians on purpose. Either way, they should out of Gaza, because they have no business being there in the first place. And if you're backwards enough, you're primitive enough to believe in an eye for an eye, then Israel has already killed several times over the number of Israelis killed by Hamas. How can you even compare the two? The Israelis don't even have civilians. These are settlers, illegal settlers who are armed and live in settlements with military bases nearby. Every single Israeli, men and women, have to go to the Israeli army. And then they turn around and pretend they're civilians. Talk about human shields. The word terrorism doesn't even have any meaning after 9/11. Israel and America just use this crap to kill whoever they want. What does Hamas have to do with the West Bank? Why is Israel killing people in the West Bank? Why have Israel bombed Syria's main airports, Damascus and Aleppo, 5 times in the last 2 weeks? Even the hostages are a bullshit excuse just to bomb Gaza. Were there hostages in 2021, in 2019, in 2014? Who can count anymore? Yesterday, Hamas offered 2 hostages, and Israel said no. Hamas already released several hostages with no strings attached. Israel doesn't even pretend to care anymore. The real hostages are the 2 million Palestinians crammed inside of a concentration camp known as Gaza. No wonder the people there take up arms. No wonder Hamas exists. And by the way, don't come here and dump this Holocaust guilt on Arabs and Palestinians. They had nothing to do with it. Leave that in Europe. Leave that in Germany and France and Austria, where they committed and carried out the Holocaust. You know, being the victim of genocide does not give you the right to go and commit another genocide in Palestine. All right, European countries think that because they massacred millions of Jews, that now they must support Jewish settlers in Palestine, no matter their behavior. This is insanity. And then Israel has the goal to go around silencing people globally. How is Hamas a threat to me? Is Hamas the one meddling in my country, influencing and buying off my politicians, kicking out the Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn? Is Hamas the one silencing critics and journalists? Did Hamas demonetize my channel? And then the Israelis want to call themselves a democracy? Is it Hamas that goes around asking Facebook and YouTube to remove videos they don't like because they feel insecure? You can't even open your mouth about Israel before they start hounding you with anti-Semite, anti-Semite. They're not even bloody Semites themselves. Palestinians are Semites, Arabs are Semites, Jews from the Middle East are Semites. Did they tell you that bit? Guess what? European Ashkenazi Jews certainly are not Semites, but the Israelis want to pretend that they are so they can claim the land in Palestine and act like they're natives. Israel is the one building weapons in my country and using them to murder people, not Hamas. What is this folly? What is this insanity? The bullies pretended to be victims, the settlers pretending to be civilians, the oppressors pretending to be the oppressed. Thus was Israel slaughtering Gaza in 2023.